Welcome to our Behind the Mic with MAB podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Fontaine. Join me as I chat with vibrant radio hosts, intriguing television personalities, and the brilliant minds behind TV and radio stations in our broadcast community. In this episode, we will talk with Yolanda Singleton, a woman who has done so much more than most of us could even imagine. She will share her story from being a proud mom and nurse to becoming a trailblazer in the music and entertainment scene here in Mississippi. She's also a familiar voice on our airwaves as she co-hosts Coffee and Conversations on WMPR 90.1 FM. Yolanda, I have been so excited about this podcast with you and just thrilled to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I am excited to be here.
So tell me a little bit about Yolanda.
Well, I am a native of Jackson, Mississippi. I'm a product of Jackson Public Schools. I attended Callaway. And when it comes to my secondary education, college education, I've basically been to all of the schools. So I started out at Tougaloo College, and then I went to Hines. It was junior college then. And then I attended Jackson State, and I've gone to UMMC. So, like I said, I've been to almost all of them here, and that's where I got my associate degree in nursing at Hines Community College, and then I got my BS in nursing at UMMC.
So, at the time, you felt the call that you wanted to help people and be a nurse.
Absolutely, I actually wanted to be a doctor. That's why I started at Tougaloo. I was in biology pre-med. And I was like, oh, this is going to take forever. And like the young people say now, life be lifing. So I changed up my major a little bit and went to nursing. It's like the second best thing to being a physician. And still felt like I would be able to have a great impact on the community and the people that I would serve and you know, do things in the healthcare industry.
So how long were you a nurse before you decided, well, maybe I'm going to try something else?
Well, actually, I still do some nursing in the sense of mostly like for friends when they're under the weather and have surgeries. So I will play bedside Betty, nurse, right? So my friends call on me. And then for health fairs, I will volunteer. I'll do blood pressure screening, diabetic glucose screenings, things of that nature. But as far as a professional career in nursing, I retired in 2007 as a nursing administrator at Kaiser. So this was still a career of 30 years.
Well, I'm excited to know that I hope I count as a friend.
Yes.
So whenever I need something, I'm going to be texting you going, Yolanda, what do I need to take for this?
Yes. So but I love what I do. And I probably will go back and do some nursing. My son is a physician, and I just want to be able to say that I worked with my son. Isn't that something?
Oh, that would be so awesome.
I just want to be able to say that one day.
Because you've kind of like really done everything. As I am looking, your professional goals were being an RN, real estate investor, licensed insurance agent, travel agent, notary public, philanthropist, because you started your own nonprofit, and financial strategist.
Yes.
Like, that's not even with everything else you've done. I mean, that's amazing in itself.
Well, thank you.
Did you just have a different goal every year? It's like, well, this year I'm going to do this.
Well, some things really came about as a result of a challenge or something that I struggled with. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. I need to figure this thing out. Like, you know, kind of like what we just heard. I started asking questions, couldn't find answers always, people not willing to help. And then I just kind of dove into learning about different things. And that was one of the reasons why I went to Jackson State for business classes to become more educated about just the business structures, real estate, things of that nature. So with each time life presented me with a challenge, I overcame it by coming up with a solution and end up falling in love with it. And then my side to that was, if I had it as a challenge, I felt like there were other people that may have had some of the same challenges. So you know what? Let me show them. Let me teach them. Let me see how I could help them. So it always kind of turned around as a service. Like, I'm really dedicated to serving others. That's my love language, service. So even though I have all of these other things, I bet you with every single thing, I could tie it back into how can I serve you?
I'm the exact same way. I can't help it. It's just in me.
It's in
And
me.
when you talk about the nursing, I'm sure you probably remember we've known each other a few years. But before I was at MAB, I was the executive director for the Mississippi Burn Foundation.
Yes.
So I worked with all the burn patients and their families. And just, it is amazing what those sweet nurses do for those patients and their families. And nurses just have a true heart of giving. So I
Yes.
can totally understand why you went into that profession, and knowing what all you do to help others just with nonprofits and everything else that you do.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a true passion. It's like just the air that I breathe. It's nothing that I even have to think about. Like, some people try to do it. Let's try to do this. It's not a try for me. It just comes natural. Putting others before myself and my needs. Like, sometimes, like, learning to say no was really a task for me. Like, I had to get to a point in my life where I had to learn to say no and realize that no is a complete sentence. Like, so that was a challenge for me too, because so often being a caregiver, being a mother, being a nurturer, we put so many other people before our needs. And that, I mean, even a nurse, we do that. I can recall working in the hospital, knowing I needed to go use the restroom, and would have 4 or 5 patients that call out, "Oh, I need help going to the bathroom. Can you help me do this?" And the whole shift would have gone by, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I didn't even go use the bathroom." So and I'm not the only nurse that does that. There's several nurses that do that. Um, so I just, I always applaud healthcare workers and nurses and, people that give so much of themselves all the time. And even in the entertainment industry, people don't really see that as a give back. But that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I want to make sure that in Jackson, experience Jackson, that people have an opportunity to experience Jackson in a fun way, in a way that they have the opportunity to get quality entertainment, live entertainment right here in Jackson on the same level that they would get in Memphis or Atlanta or New Orleans, right here in Jackson. That's at a fair price, reasonable, and I love to see them when they're having a good time. It's my way to give back.
So tell us a little more about that. What is Experience Jackson and how did that come about?
Well, Experience Jackson came about. I'm a musician as well. So I actually am a percussionist. I play drums and bells and all of that kind of stuff. So music is in my family. The Singletons sing. So we kind of grew up doing that, and music has always been a passion. And I was introduced to the marketing and promotion side of music um, industry several years back, and once it actually was with a guy who I was dating, and once you kind of give a woman something, we always have the ability to make it greater. So that's kind of what happened with that particular business. It was his business, and I kind of helped out with the business and started learning the business and grew the business. And after several years, he mostly did rap. Um, and I was like, why don't we do some other things? Why don't we do some R&B? Why don't we do some gospel? Why don't we do comedy? And he was more just familiar with rap. So over time, the business kind of grew, and that was the birth of Experience Jackson. So it actually came from a partnership with another business, and that's when I kind of decided that we really needed something that would be fair, a live entertainment outlet for adults, for families to just come out and be able to have a good time, as well as have fair prices, good entertainment, and not dummy the show down, if that makes sense. Just give them the same great experience. And as a result, I think we've built a good brand for ourselves,
I
good
think you
name.
definitely have. So amazing. And you're so multi talented.
Well, thank you.
My goodness. Okay, so give me some examples of shows that you've had.
Wow. So we were one of the first companies to bring Fantasia uh, to Mississippi. We brought Mary J. Blige to Jackson, Patti LaBelle, Anthony Hamilton. We've had all types of artists. And one thing I would like to say we pride ourselves in is using our platform not just for national artists, but for upcoming rising stars. So when we see talent, and it doesn't matter where they are, but when we see people who are very talented, who may not be well known or just locally known, we give them a platform to come out and perform. So to increase their numbers, so people can know their name. We think it's a great opportunity, a great way for them to expand with their careers, and we've had some people to really take off as a result of being on some of the larger stages. Uh, and I like to call it and explain it to people as the ant bed effect. So they'll come and perform, say like they come and perform at the Coliseum, which we've had people come from all over, from Louisiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, of course, Mississippi, from all parts of Mississippi. And they see that artist perform who they don't know. They may have heard their music somewhere, or maybe they may not even be familiar with their music. But by the time they leave, they recognize talent like I've recognized talent. And they want to know who that person is, how can I get their music? And they leave the Coliseum and they go back to their homes, they go back to their communities, they go back to the barbershops and the beauty shops and all the places where they play music, the little clubs, the hole in the walls, and all of these places, right? And they start playing that artist's music. And it just takes off because then everybody else wants to know, who is that person? I've never heard that song before, but they love it. And then that person becomes very popular. And then when I can't book them anymore because they're all over the place.
Of course.
But that's what I want. I want them to become known. I want them to flourish. I want their careers to take off. And we've seen the ant bed effect happen so many times, so many times. So I really do pride myself in doing that, having that effect on people.
Do you have a favorite story?
Rita Brent.
Oh,
Rita Brent.
yes.
So Rita Brent had an opportunity to open and host one of my shows. It was for Monica, a national recording artist, and shortly thereafter, her career took off, and I mean, she's been soaring ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, look at her now. And it's
And-
all because of you.
Well, I
How
won't say it's
cool
all
is
because of
that?
me. No, because these people are talented people. They have it. They have it. It's already there. It's just the additional exposure. It's just the boost, just the boost that they're given a lot of times. But Rita is very talented, and she had it in her. She had it in her. But there are others too. But I just knew you would probably know that name.
Yeah, she's so good.
Yeah.
So, do you have, this might not be a fair question, a favorite performer?
Oh, a favorite performer. I would have to say musical performer, artist would be Fantasia, probably. Fantasia is, yeah, she definitely has the wow factor. Yeah.
So are they pretty easy to work with? I remember in the past booking bands and they would do things interesting like, okay, I want in my trailer these things and I want all the M&Ms except for red ones. And I'm reading that contract and I'm thinking, are they allergic to red dye? Like what in the world? And at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm picking red M&Ms out of
Out,
the
yeah.
bag just to find out that it's not even a thing. They just put it on there to see if I would do it. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
So that's called a rider, and that's an additional part of a person's or artist or entertainer's contract. Um, I will say that I have had some that have not been so promoter friendly. And usually, before I finish negotiating the contract, I will ask that certain things be removed from the rider, such as picking out the red M&Ms. Like, who ain't nobody doing that anymore. Um, but there are some people who have been very, very easy to work with. I would probably say the easiest uh, artists, major artists, nationally known artists that I've ever worked with would be Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh is like, give me a bottle of water and I'm good. Like, he doesn't have to have a dressing room. He comes in, he's ready to do what he needs to do. He's willing to take pictures. He's just so laid back. Like, he's really a great performer as well as has a great personality. I mean, he's just down to earth. And I love working with artists like that. That's like, I love working with artists like that. Those are the kind that I would have back every single year, but I don't think people would keep buying their ticket every single year. But he's a great easy artist. And there are some other ones, so don't get me wrong, but I can tell you this, if I find them to be difficult, very difficult, the chances of me bringing them back on my dime, even if they're well like amongst, if they have a huge, I probably won't do it. No. Because you just got to be nice to people. It doesn't cost you anything to be kind. And I get you may not want to take pictures because of COVID and things but you can still be kind. It doesn't cost anything to be kind.
True. And some are really high maintenance.
Yes.
Yes. So tell me a little bit
Well,
about.
let me say this. There's a difference in being high maintenance and being rude. It's okay to be high maintenance. It's okay to be needy and have certain things or wanting certain things. That's okay. But it's the artists that are just flat out rude that that I have an issue with.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I get that completely.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the artist coming to Jackson, and I was reading something earlier about how you are just really focused on Mississippi. And what is the difference? Why is it, do you think, that some of them skip Mississippi to go to, say, New Orleans, for example?
One would be low initial ticket sales. That's one reason why we get overlooked. So when tickets go on sale initially, and it's almost like a spiral effect. So what happens is when the tickets go on sale, if the tickets don't sell well initially, then that's concerning to the agents, that's concerning to the artists. And then they say, oh, well, this show doesn't look like it's going to do well. But because they're not familiar with our trends here, which would be that a lot of people buy tickets last minute or closer to the date, they may want to pull the show. So those kind of things and factors are usually communicated. Tickets don't sell well in Jackson, so that's one thing. That's a factor that sometimes is taken into consideration, and maybe why we're overlooked. But I really fight hard for Jackson, especially when I know that tours are being put together, because if they're going from Atlanta to Houston or Dallas or Memphis to New Orleans, they have to come through Jackson. It's like if it's a bus tour, there's no other way around it. So why not stop, sleep over in Jackson, play Jackson, and make some money? Like it just makes sense to me to do that. Now Jackson, we have our own unique problems too. Especially with WMPR being closed. So venue size is a major concern right now. We only have either venues that are really, really small or really large, such as a Coliseum. And you start looking at price factors, just cost factors of things. And some shows won't fit in the Coliseum because the venue's too large, or if the act is too big for some of the other venues. So that's another factor as well. And Thalmar was more of a just right size for some artists as well. So we have to kind of look at that, and we got to get Thalmar back open. We got to figure that out.
Yes, we do. I agree.
Yes, we do.
Well, we're so appreciative of everything that you do to support Mississippi. So getting into this industry, I know you said that it was based on a previous relationship, but was it difficult being a female trying to work your way into this industry?
Was it difficult, or is it still difficult?
I guess both. Obviously it is.
Yes. So being in this industry, this is a male-dominated industry. And being a woman, yes, it is very, very hard. I mean, there are a lot of challenges. So when you look at most of the managers of artists are males, the owners of sound companies are males, the managers of venues are males, the band members mostly are males. Even the leading artists right now are mostly men. So either way you look at it, it is a male-driven industry. Graphic designers, mostly men. Voiceovers, mostly men. I mean, so you look at you see now you're even kind of your head's spinning, right? Like
yes.
So it's always something, it's always contact with men, and even that grows over into my personal life with relationships, because now I have to, whoever I'm with, talking to, dating or whatever, I'm like, hey, I'm around men 98% of the time. Late night, weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, hot, steamy places. I'm not a groupie or anything like that, but so it plays a toll, a lot. So this industry is very hard. And just let's be honest, let's talk real. Some men don't have equal respect for women, so that's we have to stand up. I have to speak up. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. No, this is what it is. This is what I expect. And either I'm going to get this or I'm not going to do it. So yeah, it's very challenging. Very challenging. But I think at this point, most of the people know who I am for the most part, and I have a good name about myself. So they know I'm not going to play any games with them. When it's time for business, I am 100% business. So it's good.
That would be so much to overcome, but you're so experienced. I mean, you've been in DC, you've been in Los Angeles, you've been in Atlanta. Girl, you've been all over the place and back in Mississippi.
I love Mississippi. We're a different kind of people. You can tell people from Mississippi, no matter where you go. If you run across somebody from Mississippi, you can tell. You must be from the South. You must be from Mississippi. Our personalities are different, the way we speak. And then once we become engaged with someone and once we start talking, it's just on and popping, baby. It's on and popping. Our hospitality. When we're the hospitality state, that is so true. It's in us. It's absolutely in us. Yes.
It is so, so true. So, one thing that I was reading about you that I love is that you were a female rapper when it wasn't cool to be one.
Yes, I was a female rapper. Again, another male dominated. So let's get this out the way. I'm a girly girl. Like, I like the glitz, the bling, the nails, the whole nine, the lashes. But I do a lot of things that are somewhat not thought of as what women do. Rap, I ride motorcycles, I play drums, I'm in the music industry. Like, nursing was the closest thing to a woman's kind of title that, people would think of. But I do it all. And I've kind of been, I guess it would be resistance. When I meet a challenge, when somebody says, "Oh, you can't do that," it's like they just gave me the fuel that I need to show them, oh, not only am I going to do it, but I'm going to do it well. And I usually do it very well.
Well, you're definitely blingy. I always love it. You are always so well put together.
Thank
Always,
you.
every time I see you, perfect. So, could you rap for us?
Oh my
Could
gosh.
you do me a rap? Like just a couple of.
Well, let's see.
I know I'm putting you on the spot.
You are
I'm
definitely
sorry.
putting me on the spot.
But I've never heard you rap. That would be so cool.
Okay, so let's see. I would have to say, Daniel, give me a beat, but I'm not going to do that.
He can do it. Come on, Daniel. Give her a beat.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, listen to it. I can go. I just go. This is something that I used to rap and do many, many years ago, back when I was in high school. I would have to go in the boys' bathroom in high school to rap because girls weren't rapping back then. And where did the boys rap? In the boys' bathroom. So guess where I would go? In the boys' bathroom to rap.
Never thought about that.
Yeah. So I've been a trendsetter all my life, I guess. But I'm not the real Roxanne. I'm not the real Roxanne. I'm not the real Roxanne. Or even Shantae, but I can grab a mic and see you rap all day. They call me Devastating Dynamite Delight because I can rock any party to the early light. How about that's enough?
Okay, I'm so impressed with you.
Well, thank you.
That was so good. And you remembered it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the first ones you used to do?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you are a trendsetter. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk Mardi Gras, Miss Queen.
Yes.
And speaking of bling,
Yes.
tell our audience that story.
Oh, wow. So July, I'm saying January. Well, it was January when I got the crown, but July of last year, I became the Queen Select for Mystic Crew of Femme Fatale. So Mystic Crew of Femme Fatale is a Mardi Gras crew in New Orleans. Is predominantly African American. It's the first female-founded African American crew in Louisiana, and we were founded in 2013. And I've been a member 8 years now. And last year, I was selected as their Queen Select and was crowned January the 4th of this year. So let me tell you, my life has just been a ball of fun. Like, it's been ever-changing, highs and lows, a lot of growth, a lot of learning experiences in this. I mean, like, I see God in so much of what's happening. I would say for the first 2 weeks, I literally woke up every morning crying and just praising and thanking God because I was able to see how he orchestrated this and connecting the dots. And I say that because 2 years ago, in 2024, I was a queen candidate to become the queen for Mystic Crew of Femme Fatale. And at that time, there were 5 queen candidates. And we play a game. Like every year, we have a reveal party. And that's when the parade theme is given out and the queen is selected that night. But we don't like it's not a fundraiser or we don't, it's not a beauty pageant or anything like that. We play a game of chance. Okay. So I was the fourth queen candidate. And that particular year, it was Jewels of Femme Nation. And each one of the candidates had to select a jewel out of a bag. And there was a floral arrangement that had a ribbon that color corresponded with the jewel. So, like if you picked the emerald, your ribbon color was green. If it was ruby, it was a red, things like that, right? So, I picked the fourth jewel. And when I picked up my jewel, I changed my mind about the jewel I had selected. And I put that jewel back and I picked up the other jewel. And the next candidate picked the remaining jewel that was in the bag. So once we went to the floral arrangement, we pulled the ribbon, and whoever had a crown at the end of their ribbon became the queen for that year, queen select for that becoming year. Well, it ended up being Monique. And I was so happy for her. I mean, like I celebrated with her second line and, fell into place and like hugged her. I was truly, genuinely happy for her. And, some other people's like, oh, you shouldn't have changed your stone. You shouldn't have put it back. You shouldn't. And I was like, listen, it's okay. It's okay. It's just not my time. And we went on. And I put this story on Facebook that weekend. Because, if you don't put it on Facebook, it's not real. It's not true, right? It didn't happen. So I put it on Facebook and I talked about just what happened. And when I ended my post, I put delayed does not mean denied. That was my hashtag on that post. So fast forward, the next year, I didn't qualify to be queen candidate because the bylaws had changed. And that year, the theme for that year was it's 5:00 somewhere. So all of the parade floats were named after drinks. Tequila sunrise or sunset, margarita. So let me tell you, I'm not a drinker. I don't know drinks. That would not have fit me anyway. Again, God's protection and covering for me, right? Because if I had gone out to be a queen candidate and maybe won, right? That thing would not have fit me at all. So the following year, 2025, I qualified for queen candidate and I'm up. And lo and behold, it was a day from hell, the day of the reveal. I get up that morning, I get started, and my makeup artist, she's doing a wedding party at the Hyatt in New Orleans. And just out of nowhere, there is a storm that just brews up. And she calls me, she said, Yolanda, I'm sorry, I can't get to you. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. She's like, no, I can't get to you. I don't know how to do my makeup. I'm like, I gotta get my makeup done. So I'm literally at her shop doing trying to figure this thing out. She makes it there maybe 10 or 15 minutes before it's time for me to leave. And she just puts some added touches on me and I'm out the door. I put my shoes on and the strap on my shoe breaks. Mind you, I'm in New Orleans. I live in Mississippi. I don't travel with a wardrobe. How about I had an extra pair of shoes in my car, in the trunk of my car, that matched what I was wearing that day. Metallic gold. They matched. Like, what are the odds of that? So I get to the convention center, and I'm hauling tail trying to get there. And they shut the doors. So I'm locked out. Because they close the doors, say if it's 7:00, they close the doors at 6:59 sharp. They're on time. So I was like, oh man, but they're gonna open them back up. So I have to sit there and I wait. But when they opened the doors up, it was just like everybody was there waiting on me. The room was beautifully decorated, and the theme for the year was I'm Every Woman. And I was like, that's me. And I started seeing the designs, the panels. There was a musician, there was a singer, there was an athlete, there was a gardener. I was like, I do all of that. That's me. That's me. I'm every woman. Lord, that's me. And then I'm looking around the room and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my year, right? So then they talk about membership. And they said, this year our numbers have grown and we have 1,970 members. I said, that's the year I was born. That's me. Oh, that's me. And I'm just like, so nobody knows in my crew that I'm up for Queen candidate because it's a secret. This is the night of the reveal. So lo and behold, it's time to reveal who the candidates are. But before they do that, they explain the game because we're playing a game, right? So just when they start to explain the rules to the game, someone comes up and starts talking to me. And I miss how to play the game. So I'm like, excuse me, I'm so sorry, but I really need to be paying attention right now. So I have no idea what the game is, what the rules are, how we're playing the game, and I'm the first person they call. Queen candidate, Yolanda M. Singleton. Da 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 da. And they start, and I'm just going up the aisle, right? And I go up, and there are two other candidates. They come up behind, and they're introduced, and we pull numbers, roll the die, and we get our envelopes. So we played a game where we had resumes, and each one of us had a job description. And the first candidate goes up, and she says the announcer reads her job description, and hers was. I don't know what the announcer said because his voice was going out. But she says, a pilot. And he says, you are correct. So I was like, oh, she won. And then he says, you can return to your seat. So I was like, okay, she didn't win. Because remember, I don't know the game. So the next person comes up and he gives a description. And then she says, an ambulance? And he says, no, let me give you another clue. And then so he gives her another clue, and she says a firefighter, and he says you are correct, and then he says you can return to your seat. So at this point, I'm not sure if the game is over, like if I'm the winner or if they have to come back up. So I don't know, but because the audience heard the game and the rules, I could see movement in the crowd, but now I have to pay attention to the announcer because I really don't know what's supposed to happen next. So he reads my resume and he says, you are the spirit and culture of Mardi Gras. And I lost my voice. And I sounded like I had just inhaled a balloon full of helium. And I was like, and he says, you are correct. And then another lady says, we have a winner. And I know that there was no confetti in the convention center, but this is my story and I'm telling it, right? And it was like confetti started flying from the ceiling. The second line band which the second line band really did start playing. And everything just started happening. Flowers and the sash and, the umbrella. I mean, everything. And people was just like, oh my gosh, it was just so amazing. So the visionary founder was standing at the side of the stage, and her name is Miss Gwendolyn Rainey, and her vision was for little Black girls to see other Black women and have the vision that they too could be a queen one day. And I told her when I saw her, I said, I am your vision in real life, because I didn't grow up in New Orleans. Wasn't familiar with the Mardi Gras culture. But when I started going to Mardi Gras, I was that person who would run behind every float to catch a bead. I would dance with every drill team. I would march with every band. And then I saw a queen. And I was like, maybe I could be a queen one day. How do they do that? And then look at me now. I'm a queen. And it has been one of the most awesome experiences because and when I say it has been, I have been the first of so many things. Like my resume keeps growing and growing with the list of firsts, as in the first queen ever in all of Mardi Gras history to be crowned in the Superdome. And it's so amazing when some of these firsts are discovered. You know, when they first said it to me, it's like, oh, you'll be the first Black queen crowned in the Superdome. And I was like, that's amazing. And then it was like, wait a minute. No, you're the first queen, Black or white. And it's like, let's do a fact check. And it was like, fact check, you're the first queen ever in all of Mardi Gras history to be crowned in the Superdome. I was like, how amazing. Then it's like, you know, even before that, it was like, you're the first non-native out-of-state queen that we've ever had. And for Mr. Krewe, Femme, Fatale. So, I mean, like, the list keeps growing and growing. And when I say, like, yes, I had a dream, but God dream and plan for me was so much. It's almost like he said, girl, I got you. I got you. Like, I never imagined this. Like, not even in my wildest dreams. So that's why when something happens, and I know people want me to post on Facebook and share the experience, it's difficult because I'm still processing. So it's like what happens is I experience the moment, and then people send me pictures, and then I see from the pictures things that I didn't see that night. So it's like I'm reliving it. Then I have to process that again, right? And then I have to give praise and honor to God and just absorb it all, because I have to let him know that I see how you did this for me. And I thank you. Like, this is so absolutely amazing. Like, and even though there have been some challenging times, even being queen, like personal sides, personal friendships that haven't survived, I still see how the Lord says, you know what? That's okay. You're going to move on from that, and I'm going to show you bigger and better things. Like to have the lieutenant governor of Louisiana commission an exhibit for women, for pioneers of women carnival, and to say, we want your regalia. We want not just your regalia, but they said, we want everything that you wore the night you were crowned. I was like, everything? They was like, yes, including your petticoat. We want everything that you wore that night, and we're going to put it on display for a year in our museum. Will you do that for us? I was like, absolutely. And then to see the detail and the attention that they paid to everything that they did to put it on display. I mean, even for the opening night reception, they had an all-female jazz band. Like they honored women that night, and it was just so amazing. They were so receptive, and that particular night, there was an artist painting a picture, a live portrait. Okay, and the canvas was pre-drawn with the float and the queens on there. And I went up and I spoke with her. I said, so tell me about the queens that you have on the picture. And she said, well, these are queens from the 1900s. And I noticed that she had their picture on her phone, and she was painted from her phone onto the canvas. And I was like, oh, that's great. That's amazing. She said, they're going to auction this picture off at the end of the exhibit, like next year. I was like, great, cool. So one of the guests had gone with me. One of the actually our parade captain, Dr. Davis, had gone with me. I said, "Oh, Dr. Davis, I didn't make the picture," and shortly after I said that, I started looking again. Amanda, a brown spot appeared on the picture, and I kept looking, and the gown that was pre-drawn on the picture, the artist changed it into what I was wearing that night, which was a sequence pantsuit with my sash and my crown. That brown spot was me. she added me to that picture. That was nobody but God. That was nobody but God. I wasn't in that picture. And they pre-sold, they made 100 prints of that picture as posters, numbered them, and then the picture is going to be auctioned off at the end. Like, who thought it? I couldn't have imagined. I couldn't have dreamt that because I didn't even know about it. So when I tell you God is so amazing and timing is everything, and his time is so perfect. Like in 2024, 2023, when I was a queen candidate, I could have been sad. I could have been like, oh, I give up. I'm not going to do this again. Oh, forget it. No. God said, if you want to be queen, you got to trust me. You got to put your name back in the hat. You got to allow me to do it in my time. And this was the perfect time. This was the most perfect time. And I thank God for every moment of it. It's amazing.
What a phenomenal story.
Yeah. And it's still going. It is still going. This weekend, like I said, service is my love language. This past Saturday was Mystic Krewe Femme Fatale's first all-community day of service. And what we did was we went to 16 different organizations and we rendered community service. Nursing homes, Women at the Well, the health department, 14 places in Louisiana, in New Orleans, one place, a food bank in Houston, Texas, and another community place in Atlanta, Georgia. So not only is this candy apple red, black and white being seen throughout the city, our presence is being felt as far as our arms can reach amongst so many people through service. So we're more than just the Mardi Gras crew. And I want everybody to know that Mystic Krewe Femme Fatale is more than just a Mardi Gras crew. We give back to our communities. And and that's the language that I speak.
I love that. That is so special. And it is all about the timing. I was reading my thought for the day right before we started, and Yolanda looked at me and was like, that is so my story. That is my story. And we were talking about God's timing and his
Yes.
purpose for you. And wow.
Yes. So I was recently featured on the cover of Legacy magazine. And I'm using that magazine not to just pour into Chantel Taylor, who is the editor. She was inspired by her grandmother to start this magazine. But I'm going to use that magazine to also pour into young ladies who I go out and speak to show them, give them something tangible to put into their hands to know that dreams do come true. So hopefully I can empower them as well as inspire them. So that will be my next thing. So we've getting 100 copies. So when we go different places and speak to young ladies, young girls, we can put something in their hands and say, hey, you too can be whatever you want to be. I wanted to be a queen, but you may want to be something else. And whatever that is, you too can be that. Like the sky is the limit. No, not the sky. There's areas beyond the sky. So you can go farther. Yeah.
How motivational. Your picture on the cover of that magazine is absolutely gorgeous, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Thank
You are
you.
so beautiful
Thank
and
you.
just inspiring so many young girls. I
Thank
love that
you.
you mentor. And tell us about your nonprofit because that is your heart.
Yes. So by God's grace, and that the word says it all, by God's grace. So basically what we do is we help educate underprivileged young women and girls in ways however we can, really. We educate them with life skills. We educate them with financial skills, and then coping, conflict resolution. So when we meet, a lot of times we just kind of do two things. We give them something that we kind of do an assessment to figure out some of the things that they need. And we touch bases on those things. And then we bring in professional people, entrepreneurs of all walks of life based on the needs of that group of girls. And once again, show them, have other people tell their stories. Because I just believe that if they see it, it gives them a way to connect with the vision that they have. So that's a way that we give back. And then on the other side of that, that's what we do on a more consistent basis. But our emergency needs would be for post-disaster. So if we're affected by hurricane or tornado, basically what we do is after the cameras have gone away, after the initial crisis teams leave, we know that these people are still struggling. We will basically set up a restaurant-style meal for them, hot meal. You know what a junk pot is?
I do not know what that is.
Okay.
You're educating me today.
Yeah, that's kind of a black thing. But you know what it is. It's a boil. It's like turkey necks, sausage, corn, potatoes all in one pot. So that's a junk pot. Just throw some junk in the pot, right? So we fix junk pots. And we'll go out to that particular area. We set up the junk pots, we cook, and we invite the community. We set up right in the middle, where we get in touch with local law enforcement, and we allow them to tell us where is the safest place to set up this kitchen, this makeshift restaurant, put up a tent, tables and chairs, and people can come in and take a break from their cleanup efforts, come in and eat. And then whatever food we have left, we fix plates, and we go to the area where the disasters have occurred, where people may still be cleaning up and didn't get a chance to come away from their efforts, and we deliver hot plates to them. So it has worked well, and it's really with my Facebook community. I'm like, hey guys, can we go out and feed 250 people? Let's make it happen. And guess what? Every time God gives me a number, we don't ever just meet that number. We have always exceeded that number. I'm always like, okay, we got enough turkey necks. Okay, we got enough. Like, okay, we got enough corn. We don't need any more potatoes. And like we always get a great response. So wherever it happens, we've been to Lexington, we've been to Durant, we've been down by Natchez. I kind of forget some of the towns we've been, but where people have had needs, that's where we'll go. We will go. We just load up the trucks and trailers and pots and propane tanks, and we go. And then we take blessing bags, which are toiletries, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, feminine products, and we just give them what we have. God blesses us to be a blessing to other people, so it's always good to do that.
This is so true. And both of those are truly, truly needed. And you're right. The important part, one of the important things that you said in that to me was talking about when the cameras go away, because we tend to forget about them. We forget what they're going through and that they still don't have a home to live in and they still need food to eat. We do forget about that.
Yeah, 'cause usually 2 weeks in, they're pizzaed out. They're cold cut sandwiches out, their sardine and Vienna sausage out, and they haven't had an opportunity to have a hot meal. The restaurants in that town are usually affected as well. The service is still down a lot of times. Water has been affected. And who's really concerned about trying to cook when they don't have a place to lay their head? So yeah, it makes a difference. So we do try to get out and provide something, and we know it's just a meal, but it's something.
It's more than just a meal to them. Yeah. Definitely. And the very first program with the mentoring, That is very near and dear to my heart. I mentor a young lady at Methodist Children's Home, and some of their sweet stories, it's amazing what these kids have been through. And you just think, oh my goodness, it's just not even fair. Bless their little hearts. And they don't have anyone that tells them that they love them or that they care for them.
Yeah.
And even just something simple as Tammy Phillips and I went to her graduation, and it broke my heart because we were asking her, well,
Where's your family?
is your family coming? And it was like, no, you have my tickets.
Yeah, yeah. So one of my mentees is a nursing student at SUNO, Southern University at New Orleans. And this particular year, she's a junior. She's going into her senior year. She had the highest GPA. Um, and currently she is in Pennsylvania on an internship. She's an international student, and she's doing phenomenal. So, I mean, there are a lot of people who I'm really impressed with that's doing great things. And I'll tell you, being a friend of the Friendship Connection as well, once a quarter, we try to have a fun activity for the ladies there. That's a substance rehabilitation facility. And I tell my mom this all the time. I tell people this all the time. I usually go there to give something to the women, but I guarantee you, every time I leave, I find that they're giving something to me. It's such a humbling experience. Like like you said, to hear their stories, to hear how they got there, to hear about their recovery, and even their sobriety. It's just so amazing. Um, and to know that you've made a difference. Like you said, oh, it's more than just a meal. It is more than just a meal. So I'm always so grateful and so thankful because it's amazing. It's amazing. And I just encourage anybody to find something that you're passionate about and share that with somebody else. Share it with somebody else. We are definitely blessed to bless other people. We are God's angels right here on earth. Like there's nothing that's just gonna come down from the sky and do something for you. We're God's angels, and we have to do the work of God. You know, we have to. So we're the ones that's supposed to do the blessing.
I 100% agree with you. And doesn't it make your heart feel so good to know that you made a difference
Oh,
in someone
absolutely.
else's life?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It truly does. Well, I was thinking about how I guess I was trying to remember the first time I ever met you. I think it might have been at Rotary, which is a service organization.
Hmm.
But then also, I was on your show. We have not talked about cocktails and conversations yet.
Yes, yes, yes. So that show is on hiatus.
Oh,
It
okay.
is, but it's okay. Being from here to New Orleans and back and forth and just doing so much. And as of course, Wanda is now a Hines County supervisor. So
Yes.
it's been we've had some growth. We've had some growth. So some things have kind of taken a spin, but we're looking forward to coming back with some more a new show, a new show. But we stay informed, we stay in tune, we stay connected, we still share information. So we're still a ball of resources.
That to me was one of the coolest station visits I had ever been to. The room next to Wanda's office.
Yeah, it's like a museum.
It is.
Yeah, it actually is. It really is. All the memorabilia that's there, from her dad, from Medgar Evers, just from different artists. It's literally like a historical place. Like it really should be put on the map.
Oh, it definitely should be. I could have stayed in there forever.
Yeah.
And the pictures with the presidents and just everyone in general.
Yeah.
It is amazing what all is in that room.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It really should be like a museum, a definitely visiting spot. Well, the street name changed. It's now James Charles Evers. So the street has now changed from Pecan Park Circle. So It might be something in the future coming.
You never know.
You never know. God's
Obviously, you
timing.
have another show in the future coming.
Yes, Wanda and I are still talking about that. So yes, yeah. So my reign will end in February of next year. I'll pass the crown to the next queen to be queen select whenever that comes up. Our reveal will be in July, so we'll find out who she is, and she'll have her training and time to get everything together. I mean, it's so fast paced. I promise you, it seemed like the day after I became, the night after I was selected, the next morning, I think somebody was sitting by the phone saying it's 7:59 and 58 seconds, 59 seconds, it's 8 o'clock, call her. And my phone rang at 8 o'clock on the dot, and everything started changing, like from that moment. Like literally, things started changing. Like, once you're a queen, you're always a queen. Queens are protected in New Orleans. Like some of the other queens, like, yo, you have it easy. You live in Jackson, so you don't have to do all the extra stuff that we have to do. So, because one of the first lessons that they told me, one of the first things that they said was, listen, Queen Select, if you can't get dressed to go to the grocery store, send somebody else. It's like you're now one of the faces of the organization. Yes. People will recognize you. They will want pictures. If you can't get dressed, if you can't look your part, don't go. Send somebody else.
Wow. So you've probably been keeping the road hot between here and New Orleans.
Absolutely. I'll be going this afternoon.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
We'll both be on the road. So yes, that has been that's been a challenge too. Like I said, but God has provided. I mean, like He's made it be okay for me, in a lot of ways. This Sunday was the first time I've had a true scheduling conflict, so I count that a blessing. Like, because there were so many other things, I was like, oh, I don't know. With me being so active here with Rotary, National Coalition of 100 Black Women, and just some of the other things that I do, and I was like, how am I gonna do all this? But this Sunday was like really the first time. This weekend, I'll say this weekend. But yeah.
Well, I think you are truly amazing. We are so, so proud of you. You represent us so well.
Thank you.
And I learned something new today. Now I know what a junk pot is.
Yes.
Learned something new from you. And just thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for
having me. And safe
me.
travels on your way to New Orleans.
And same to you. You're going to be traveling soon, so safe travels to you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for having me.